Hey guys, today is going to be a little bit different because it's just going to be a little different. How are you guys doing today on this? What's today? Wednesday? How are you guys? I absolutely hate my background. I feel like, excuse me, the spot on the wall. But I am just coming to chit chat with you guys today. I don't have any food because I am in the end stages of COVID. Dun, 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 dun. But no, I am well. I'm not, horrible. I was on the sick and shut in list for a little while, but I am currently, excuse me, I don't want y'all to see all my covers, the mama messed up arrow over here. But I am better. My daughter had it first, and then it came to me, and now I am in the recovering stages. So I'm waiting for some people to get on here. If nobody joins me, I won't be on here long. But I was thinking about you guys, and I missed you guys, and and so I decided to join in. So hopefully my old faithfuls, whom I love dearly, will hop on so that we can discuss. So we can discuss. But we left off in Butterfly. Like I said, I don't have any food, guys, today because I am recovering from COVID. But I did want to hop on here and talk to y'all. Y'all know, reading is my favorite pastime. So, of course, I've been doing a lot of that. I've been out for about a week now from work. So I'm here. So our last video we left off on was I was talking about Blue, and Morgan had went to her house to pick up her kids, and her and Blue kind of had like an exchange of words. And yeah, so I will say I kind of understand where both of them was coming from, like Morgan being his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend, his baby mama now, and then Blue having this love for him that she doesn't necessarily want to, I think, even come to the realization herself that she has it. I don't think that she wants to be hey girl. I was just saying that I don't have no food today, friend, because I had COVID, and that's why I haven't been on here. So I decided to hop on today because of course I miss you guys. So I try to jump on just to, touch base with you guys. But I was saying we was talking about Morgan and Blue, and how when Morgan went to go pick up her kids, she felt the need to, she didn't feel the need. Blue felt the need to kind of address Morgan. And I think Blue was out of line. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and say I think Blue was out of line. And I know it probably came from a place of her being Messiah's friend. Thank you. It wasn't so bad because I'm fully vaccinated, so I didn't get, I wasn't down bad, but I was down. What? Go ahead. So I wasn't too bad, but of course I still had to be out of work. So, but that's where we are. So I think that Blue was wrong for addressing Morgan, because I feel like, and maybe because Blue doesn't really necessarily know exactly everything that's going on with Morgan right now, so she does feel like it's okay for her to have addressed this issue. But I just think she kind of overstepped her boundaries, and I could be wrong. But I know if I was Morgan, if it wasn't for the fact that Morgan was going through what she was going through, if I was Morgan, I would have ate Blue's ass up. Like, oh no, ma'am, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. You're not about to talk to me about me, my baby daddy, or my kids for that matter. Because no. So I think I don't know what the next chapter is because I haven't pre-read it before I got here. So, and I don't want to use my book because I always mess my book up. So, dang, I thought we was further on. Okay, so now we go to Messiah, and the police still have him in custody as well. And so they done put him in the back of like a police van. And my man, I'm thinking he in one of those one of those transport vehicles that they be having for the police, like not necessarily like a the kind of got like just the two windows on the front, and then the back is like I don't want to call it this, but the creeper vans like that. That's what kind of van I think he was in. And they still had him cuffed so that he couldn't brace himself. So they basically tossing my man all through the back of this truck. I mean, he done bust his head. He's shoulder dislocated because they driving real fast, turn the corners real fast, like doing all type of just unruly punishment to try to get him to give them whatever information that they looking for, all because of Bash, for real. So they take him out into like the middle of nowhere basically, and they basically trying to test his loyalty to try to see if he gonna tell if he's going to give up information about Ethic's involvement with Kenzie. So it's a whole fiasco, okay? A whole fiasco. So they wind up getting him out. He bloody. His eyes is bloody because he done busted a gash on his. I mean, they done beat my man to smithereens, okay? And his loyalty is so potent that he refuses to give up any information on Ethic. And not just because I think it's kind of like guilt and loyalty mixed together, because with all of the stuff that he put their family through as far as him and the plot against Ethic in the Ethic series, I think it's kind of like a mixture of both. Of course, he has an undying loyalty to Ethic and his family, but I think a part of him is also tied to them so much so it's because, hey, Deanna girl, a part of him is tied so much to Ethic because he feels that guilt, like he owes him, like he's indebted to them. Hey, Alicia Jones, how are you? So that's the reason why I think a part of him is going what some would think is above and beyond, or the extra mile, because he feels like he's indebted to that family altogether, from Morgan to Ethic to everything that happened in the past. So that's why I feel like he ain't gonna just, minus the street code, he ain't finna just give up no information about Ethic and his family. Me too. I was sick. I had well, I wasn't. I hate to say sick. I don't want to, but I had COVID. I tested positive for COVID, so I had to be out. So I was trying to get myself better, but I missed y'all. So I was like, let me hop back on so I can, get on here with my people. So that's why I don't have no food today, because I really don't have an appetite as much. So I'm just on here trying to chop it up with y'all today. So they done beat my man up. They done threw him around in the truck, all over Flint. And he said, so you would die for him? The police officer finally asked him, like, so if you just tell us what we need to know, you could just go on about your business. And he was like, you just might as well go ahead and shoot me now, because I'm not telling. He said, whatever you plan to do out here, like, you're gonna have to go ahead and do it, and you're gonna have to see it all the way through. He said, because I'm not that guy. And so the police officer was like, you would really die for him? He was like, on any given day, like on any given day. No, he said on every day of any week. He said, you're going to have to kill me. He said, I'm ready to die about mine. Do what you got to do. So the police officer was, of course, kind of thrown back. And like I said, Messiah got that undying loyalty for that family, for the Okafor family. Okay, period. He said, look, Ethic done accepted me back after all the bullshit I done caused. I'm going the extra mile for him. Like, whatever they want me to do, I'm there. I'm going to just go ahead and do it. And if it means that y'all going to have to offer me so that he's safe and he can take care of everything pertaining to his family and now my family, I'm going to just go ahead and let it go. Like, go ahead and offer me, because I ain't telling. So the police officer like, okay, tough guy. He was like, it should be fun. He said, make him talk. Let's see how strong his loyalty is. So they basically beat him up real bad. real bad. And the crazy part about this is I think that police officers really do stuff like this. Like, that's the part that be tripping me out. Like, they probably really be doing this. Like, just be trying to have people turn on each other and testing people's loyalty. Like, I can't stand them, but all of them aren't bad, so I ain't finna get into that. But that's just how I feel about that situation. So then we go to Henny, my Polo Henny. I just feel so bad for Henny because he was literally in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, he literally like walked himself into some tragic stuff that he probably didn't even think was gonna happen to them that night. He like, I'm just coming over here to say goodnight to my girl. Like, I ain't trying to get mixed into this. And because of good old Morgan all over again, now Henny caught up in the mix. And it's not kind of, but it's on Henny too, because he knew what type of lifestyle he was living, and he knew the possibility of what could happen to him if the shit was to hit the fan up for when the rubber met the road. So it's not Morgan's fault for Henny, but it's definitely like one of those things like, damn, not Henny. You know, like anybody but my Henny. And I feel so bad for Bella because we know she's just a young girl in love, and she just is so distraught because the person that she has all of these childlike, you know, baby boy crushes on has devastated her. And he went against the plans that they had, and now he is behind bars. So Hendrik, of course, is not as tough as Messiah, and he's not as tough as Ethic mentally or physically. You know, he young, he 18, he fresh. He was really living a fast life. Like, I saw other people doing this, so I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon and I'm gonna do what they doing, and this is the consequences that he's in. So he don't really know, you know, I mean, he probably knows the street code, but I don't know how embedded it is in him. I think enough, especially since he's so close to Ethic, I feel like he has enough common sense to know, like, oh, I can't turn against them because it's gonna be hell to pay if I do. So they kind of did the same thing to Henny, like roughed him up a little bit, put him in there when it was cold. They ain't fed him. You know, they kind of like laid him back and poured the water on his face. Like, you know, and that's a lot for an 18-year-old little boy. He probably like, somebody get me out of here now, please. So they finally come back in there and basically tell him, like, you know, we got information on your mom, and if you give us information on Ethic, then maybe we can, you know, pull some strings for your mom to be okay. You know, the regular antics that they put in there together. So he, of course, is like, I'm not about to tell. I don't even know what y'all talking about. I don't have any information. I was really over there to tell my girl good night. Like, I don't even know about nothing that y'all asking me about. And he really doesn't. Like, Henny doesn't have any information because he wasn't around. He wasn't around in the Ethic series, like, well, in that part of the Ethic series. So, and he wasn't talking to Bella or anything like that. So he really doesn't know what was going on. He really has no idea. Like, so he told him, like, man, I want a lawyer. You know, but enough is enough. Y'all ain't got me here long. Just go get a lawyer so I can talk to my lawyer. Because this right here, these scare tactics really are starting to scare him. And you know, but I need somebody that's going to be able to help me. He said, you can't just keep me down here. And the guy like, oh, you on your way out, you know. He was like, didn't nobody take no mug shot, no fingerprints. Technically, we don't even have you on the premises. So think about it for a minute. Like, if you don't exist down here, so unless we say you exist behind these walls, you can go home. He said, and I'd love to let you go home. Like, I like to release you, but of course, you know, he said, I don't know nothing about what y'all talking about. Well, like I said, try to trick him with his mom or whatever. And he said, you tell us what you wanted to know, and maybe it'll help your mother. Like, you can take your mother and go home, leave us to deal with the real bad guy in the situation. He said, I don't know about what you're talking about. He was like, well, that's too bad, son. He said, you sure he would do the same for you? Give up his life, his wife with his kids, his children, his blood family. He was like, man, like Ezra Okafor, like, they use boys like you. And the crazy part about it is, Henny ain't even running no illegal businesses with Ethic. Like, his illegal businesses is with Miki and Issa. Like, it's not even with Ethic. Like, he literally doesn't even know any of the ins and outs of what Ethic does, used to do, in the future, what ties he still has to the streets. Like he really doesn't know any of that. Like I said, he is really an innocent bystander in this whole situation. So he said, you'll take all the risk for a little pocket money. He said in status, he said, while he's sitting in the mountain on the top, sending his kids to fancy schools, unreachable and untouchable. So Henny like, man, fuck you. Like, no, I'm not about to just fuck you. So he like, the detective like a little piece of shit. Like, and you know, they mad because nobody is giving up any information. So then we go back to Morgan because she just left Blue House. And of course, she wants to be able to try to help in whatever type of way she can, because this for real is somewhat her fault. Like she's kind of like the ripple effect, the same way she kind of was with the whole leaving when she with what's his name? What's Alani's brother's name? Why I want to call that man Jacob. What's his name? Is his name Jacob? What is Alani's brother's name? I don't know. Whatever his name is, I can't think right now. But the way she was with him, leaving the club with him, and how that all was just kind of like, Lucas, there you go, Deanna, Lucas. The way she was, it's all kind of like rippled effect, like it rippled effect with that. Thank you, girl, because I was confused. Like, what's his name? Lucas. So I done called the man Jacob. So it's all kind of like a ripple effect, that same way it was with Lucas. So she tell Bash, like, can you please take me to Alani's house? She pregnant. I'm sure she's worried about what's going on with Ethic. She due any day now. We know she's 27 months pregnant. Like we have to go. Let me go see about her. And so he asked her, like, well, how do that work? You know, like, how, if I take you over there, how does that work? Like, so do you run to your family and tell them what? You tell them everything? Do you really think that helps? Like, getting rid of me doesn't get rid of your problem. I've taken precautions. If anything happens to me, this all gets worse for you. And she said, I know what I've done and what's at stake. I just want to be there for them. Like, so basically, you caused all of this, but you still want to be in the vicinity with them. And then what you gonna tell them? Like, okay, y'all, it's because of me. What you gonna say? Like, how do you break that information to your father? Like, well, one night, you know, I was pillow talking. You and Alani pissed me off, and I just spilled all of the beans to Bash. So, he said, so, and pretend like you ain't the reason why they all falling apart. You're going to go in there, look that woman in her face and cry with her, all while pretending you don't know why he's in jail. You're a sick individual. And really, she's not sick. You are. Like, it's you. Like, if you would just release my people, we wouldn't even have to be in this situation. Let me tell you something. I don't ever want a man to love me so much that you want to control me, like, and possess me. Like, that's sick. Like, something is off with Bash. Like, he's off. And I just don't like him. It just don't sit well with me. I cannot stand him. I can't. And it's crazy because when I was reading Bash in the Ethics series, like, I was getting like those off vibes, but I don't think I ever thought that it would be to this magnitude. Like, I didn't think that he would be this nuts. I thought he was kind of like, you know, the corny, thirsty guy that won't take no for an answer, but eventually he'll walk away. No, he proved me to be wrong because he's a creep. He a real creep. Not only is he a creep, but his mama a creep. Like, they daddy, I wonder if he in on any of the bullshit too. Like, I don't want that. I don't want love if it's gonna come with all that, because that's a bit much. Okay, that's just a bit much. So sorry, y'all, my nose itching. So he said, you don't even like her. You tolerate her. You're so obsessed with Ethic that you hate his wife, and you chase anything that reminds you of the way that he loves. Is that why you can't be happy with me? Because I'm nothing like him? Like, because you have daddy issues? Am I not street enough? Not damaged enough? But the crazy part about it is, Bash, you damaged enough. Like, you cuckoo for real. Like, you might not be street enough, but you damaged enough. Okay, you come with enough issues to classify as all the rest of the men that I done entertain. Like, you just as troubled as they are. Let's just keep it real. You gonna come? What you need? No. I mean, very damaged. Like, he's severely damaged. Like, he might be off more than any of the other men she's ever entertained. Like, you talk about, like, are you not damaged enough, sir? You the most damaged of the three. Like, you are more off than all three of them. Like, you sir, you got a whole problem. I ain't even gonna hold you. So she said blackmailing someone so they can't leave sounds damage to me. See what I'm saying? Like, you're nuts. You're nuts. She said, if I don't show up for this, Ethic is going to crazy. Ethic will know something is wrong. He'll think something has happened to me. She said, grab some stuff for me and the twins. We're going to my family's estate. So I don't think she went over there that night. I don't think she went over there with her that night. So they wind up going back to the apartment or whatever. So he wound up telling her, like, go ahead and get the stuff for you and the kids or whatever, and we're gonna go back to my family's estate. Like I said, Bash, he's weird. Okay. He weird, his mama weird. I think I know I'm one of those people who don't have to have all the spinoffs of every character that's involved in the story. But there is a part of me that wants to know a little bit about Bash prior to him being in college, because as off as he is as an adult, I really want to know what happened to him as a kid. Like, did something happen to him as a child? Like, did he spend a lot of his childhood being neglected? Like, but I can't really see that because him and his mama, they like two peas in a pod. Like, she off, he off. Like, I'll have to have no whole story. Maybe I can get a couple snippets here and there, little flashbacks here and there, because he off. He's off. He's really off. So he tried to help her with the kids, and she instantly gets upset and try to snatch Yari out of his hand. I better get off my kids because you already went crazy. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what that's Kiara, listen. That's my thought process. Like, I really want to know who she is. Like, and I know in the group they always talking about, like, what we missing, what we should have been done caught on. That can't be it, because we would have never been able to figure out who Allison was if she wasn't never brought up in B4. But my question is, like, was it the same way with her? Like, Bash was one way and then all of a sudden he flipped on her. And so to keep her quiet, did I have to get rid of her? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the story with her? Like, and the fact that she looks so much like Morgan, like, is she related to Morgan in some fashion? Like, I can't figure out what the connection is with the Alley girl. And of course we probably won't ever know because of what happened in the book. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. And then the mama done covered it up. It's just too much. It's just too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, Bash, you damaged enough for the whole Two Live crew. Like, ain't nobody more damaged than you, son. So when she gets to her house and she pull up, Nair is there, and he like, Mo, and she like, oh my God, I'm like, oh Lord, some relief, somebody who can try to help me. And so Nair, like, we've been calling you all night, like, trying to see what's going on. He like, Ethic in trouble. Alani needs you. Get it out right here so that when you get there, you could be strong for them. And he said, you hear me? And if you ain't strong, I'm gonna be right there. I got you, Mo. And she's like, this is all my fault. This is all my fault. And he like, nah, Mo. It ain't. Everybody has their day of reckoning. Nothing goes unseen and nothing is left undressed before God. We gonna figure it out, though. That's my word. We gonna get him up out of there. So of course she's talking about this is all her fault, because of course it really is her fault, but it really isn't in a sense. But And so he said, "You shaking? Like, are you okay?" You know, and she like, "Yeah, I just want to go home. Like, I just want to go home." And she like, "Nah, I need you," because now she felt like this is an opportunity for me to tell somebody who can possibly help me dig myself out of this hole that I'm in. And so Bash is like, I'll drive him over there. We was just headed that way. And now you're like, yeah, I gotta go anyway, because I gotta go down to the jail so that works. And then and so Morgan's like, no, we can ride with you. You know, I'm like, come on, like I need to go with you. What's going on? Like, please help me. And so he like, no, it's okay. I'll meet you back at the house. Like, I gotta get down there. Things can get rough and ethic on the inside. They need to know that church is investing in his arrest. Get them there safely. He said, I don't really play about her. And Bash like, yeah, that makes two of us. I just can't like him. I'm sorry, I can't. He said, I'm gonna call as soon as I hear something, pick up the phone, Mo, and take it easy on Ilani. Like, she's trying to act like she's not falling apart, but I know she hurting. And so, and when he walked away, when Nair walked away and got in the car, Bash gonna tell her, like, you need to keep it together because you know what happens if you don't. Like, I wish that she just would have went upstairs and got what she needed to get and sent him to his maker. Cause don't like, I already know what it is. You don't got to keep on saying it every sentence. Like, I know you don't got to keep saying it ugly. Like, I know what I did. I know what type of situation I got my family in, but you ain't finna just keep on throwing it up in my face like that every time. So now Ilani is at home. She's sitting on the couch listening to her 90s R&B music, trying to soothe her soul because her husband is in jail and she just don't know what to do. You know, I'm just so distraught. He planned for this, she did not, and now she distraught. So I said this, I would have pinched his arm so hard, like, I am in danger. Like, you need to help me. I'd have pinched him right up on his underarm. I would have hugged him and just kept pinching, like something, because this could go left. Like, help, please. I'd have pinched that man's underarm. I would have pinched it until he was like, ouch. And then I would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, but I really needed your help. Wink, wink, like something. Like, I wouldn't have been able to get in a car with Bash. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have. Like, it was just too much. So she goes over there. She winds up seeing Ilani, and Ilani is telling her, you know, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciated it. Like, I really needed you. You don't know how much I need you right now. And so Morgan is like, that would have been me. You know how your mama, you don't want your parents or something to go to work, and so now you don't wrap your body around their leg. That would have been me. I would have wrapped myself around my ear, so he would have been like, what's really going on? I can't go. No, please don't leave me here. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. So Ilani was like, I needed you here. You don't know how much I needed you here. And Morgan was like, I guarantee I need you more. Like, I guarantee you. She said, have you heard anything? And she's like, no, not yet. They couldn't find him in the system when I went down there. And she said, so Nia's going down there to see if he can figure out, you know, what's going on. Now, we know they don't have him in the system because this is not really like one of those arrests that was supposed to be on the books. But eventually, of course, it does go on the books. But when they initially pulled them in the middle of the night, they didn't want anybody to know that they had them until they could figure out what they could do as far as, you know, pressing some type of charges on all of them. So, and she said, what do you mean? She said, it means a lot of people have to do their job to make sure that he comes home safe. That's Bash. I can't stand it. And so Ilani was like, I thought the kids was with Messiah. And then she was like, they were, but they took him away too in front of the kids. And see, I need to find something like that too. Like something like a code. Like if something is wrong, like if I call you and say it's real hot out here in July and it's November, I need something that's gonna let you know, like, this is unsafe territory. And she said that they took Messiah along with right in front of the kids. And so Ilani was like, this really can't get any worse. She was like, let's get the kids in the house and in the bed. They've been through enough tonight. She went to retrieve Masari to try to get him out of her arms, and Morgan was like, I got it. She was like, I got him. Like, just I need you can give me her too. You know what I mean? I need all the energy my babies have to get right now. You two can head up and get some rest. She said we all need the help is coming in the morning. And so Bash is like, help. Like, help, you know what I mean? Because now he's trying to figure out like who else is going to be involved, because if somebody else, of course, gets involved, then they could probably potentially find out that he is snake in the grass and that it's his fault that everybody's in jail. And so she said Nair thinks someone is pulling strings that's on this from a different place or from the inside, probably a cop or a grudge or something. I don't know, but we have to leave him there. The way they put those handcuffs on him, the way they mishandle Hendrix, and Morgan, like, Hendrix got arrested too, because now she didn't know anything about the rest of this. And now she told Bash, like, Bash, can you excuse us for a minute? Like, can you get out? Just go ahead and get out. And Bash left, but he shot Morgan a look like, you bet not tell what's going on. She's like, I still don't know what they holding Ezra for. She was like, but my gut is telling me that it has something to do with Kenzie. She was like, and if that is the case and we have to relive everything that happened with that, like, I want to know that me and you, Morgan, are on a united front. Like, I want to know that we are together and that this is not going to get the best of us and this is not going to separate us, because we both need to be here to be able to support Ethic in this, in this trying time, if that's what it is, and not only him, but me too, because of course that would be devastating it's going to be devastating for Alani if she has to literally relive everything pertaining to her daughter's death from beginning to end. Like, that's traumatic. I don't think that I know that I could have sit in a courtroom with the man who I chose to marry and relive all of the actions that led up to the death of my daughter. Like, nope, I wouldn't be able to do it. So she wanted to make sure that her and Morgan were on the same page and that they were in a good space to deal with this if this is what was going to happen. Like, if Ethic was going to have to go to trial for Kenzie's death, were they going to be able to still be a united front? Like, that's basically what she was asking Morgan. And of course, Morgan's like, absolutely. But in the back of Morgan's head, she's thinking like, well, I don't know how much of a united front we're going to be when you find out that it's me that caused all of this uproar. So, and so she asked Morgan, like, are you okay? Because, of course, Morgan started crying. And then, of course, she just nodded her head like, yeah, I'm okay. Because, like, at that time, it's like, I definitely can't tell you what's going on, because that's going to be something else traumatic for you to have to deal with right now while your husband is in jail. And it's just too much. So she just let it go. So the next morning, they're at home, and Easy is like, so if Dad goes to jail, like, am I going to be the man of the house? And Alani like, no, you're not. Like, you're not going to be the man of your house. I'm not going to put those type of, grown man responsibilities on you. She said, you're a baby. Like, nothing's going to make you become a man before it's your time. Like, Daddy's going to be okay. This is all a misunderstanding, and we're going to clear it up soon. Like, let's just go ahead and not even be worried about it. So this is the next day they wind up going to court. And so she didn't want to bring the kids with her, but whoever Zaya sent, the lawyer that she sent said that it was a good idea to have, like, all of his family to kind of continue to play on the role that he's a good member of society. He's a great man to his community. He gives back. He supports the church. He supports the council members. Like, they want to make it seem like, Ethic is a great man. And we all know he really is. He just made a mistake with Kenzie. I'm really sad. Because at the end of the day, I'm a Ethic wife first. I'm a Messiah wife, very, very, very close second. You know what I'm saying? But so when they got into the courtroom and they finally called his case up, she was like, why he got that orange suit on? She was like, I specifically sent the suit for my man to be in, and why they got him in that orange suit. She was like, I bet you they did it on purpose because they're trying to be funny. I'm like, don't do it like that. And of course, it's their job to try to make him look more criminal than he is. We know he a criminal, but we know he, for the sake of this argument, like, go ahead and relieve my man of that orange suit. So she's freaking out. Like, I bought him a suit. I sent it over here with the lawyer. Like, I can't believe he don't have his suit on. And so Nayyirah, like, just calm down. Like, I'm sure they did it on purpose, but justice will be served either way. Either way it go. He said they always want to make sure that a Negro looks like a Negro. And so they say all rise or whatever the case may be. And so she asked Bella asked where was Henny at, and then Lonnie had to tell her we're not gonna see them all together because they didn't all get arrested for the same charges. So she was like, well, the judge won't see them at the same time. And she's like, well, can we at least wait? She was like, because I don't want him to be by himself, and I don't want him to think that nobody's gonna be here for him. Like, I really want him to know that I'm gonna be here to support him. And so Alani like, yes, it's fine. Like, I'll wait. We can wait or whatever. So the judge told everybody that they could be seated. And so then the prosecutor is like, good morning, everybody. Like, he telling them who he is. He the lead counsel on here. And not the prosecutor, but ethics lawyer. And he's like, I'd like to request that we waive the reading of the indictment against the client. Mr. Okafor has been provided with the written form of his charges because, of course, he don't want it to be read out loud that he's being charged with the death of his wife's daughter. So the fact that his lovely wife and children are in attendance, we would like to bypass that part. And so the judge was like, okay, well, do you understand the charges? Like, do you know what you're being indicted for? And he like, I do, And so they like, okay, so straight to the matter of bail. And so the prosecutor is like, we ask that they reprimand Mr. Okafor. He's a violent threat to the community. All these other, I don't know why I got this calm. I'm gonna sit it down. And that he's a threat to the community or whatever, he could flee. And so the one guy, his lawyer was like, this is a wild goose chase. Like, y'all basically just trying to build up something that y'all don't really have enough evidence on. And I don't think that it should count against my client, or that he should have to be, reprimanded or being here without a bail until y'all finish y'all fishing expedition. So, the judge was like, we don't need your grandstanding. Like, this is just a pretrial. And so, okay. And so they like, so just go ahead and say the reason why you don't want him to have bail or what it is. And she was like, okay, well, the prosecution says letting Mr. Okafor out on bail will be going against the wishes of the victim's family. So let's let them speak for themselves. And so when he said that, ethics said, come again? I'm like, what? Because what now? Because they have discussed before that he would never allow her to relive that. Like, and I'm not about to have you up. Nope, no, and no. So, Mr. Okafor, you will not speak out of turn in my courtroom and here. I'm the master. And so now he tell the judge, like, what was that? I'm like, what you say? Like, what you say to me? I'm sorry, say it one more time. I don't care nothing about y'all status or what role y'all play in this courtroom. What did you say? What did you say, sir? And the judge said, excuse me, Mr. Okafor. He said, and so ethics said, I need clarity. I need clarity on the way the master things work. That will dictate what happens next. So what did you say? What did you say? Say it again. I say it one more time. And so Alani's like, Ezra, like, stop, because she know her man, but like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. Black coat, robe, judge, white, blue, purple. I don't give a damn. You're gonna have to stop. And it's so sick and crazy that is how the judicial system is, though. That's how they do us. Like, I feel like they can just get up there and say and do. That's a whole nother story. But that's the part that just pees me off. I love me some Ezra Okafor. He said, I don't care nothing about your robe, sir. You're not gonna talk to me disrespectfully, and you're not, because ain't no master in here of mine. Try that shit with somebody else, but don't try it with me, because I'm not the one. So Alani's, of course, getting nervous because she know her man. And so the guy says, this is the victim's family, Your Honor. and the mother of Kenzie Hill and the sister of Lucas Hill. And so she grabs the side of the thing. She's like, and so Ethic puts his head down because he like, I'm not finna watch my wife. I think he would have stood straight up, tried to go to man to man at the desk. Like, could you come here? Could you run that by me again? I can see that. I can see that. She said, I need you to look at me. And by this time, she turned into her husband. And so he turned to his lawyer and he was like, I need a second with you. I need a second. Like, go ahead and call a recess because I need to have a second with you. And so they requested a short recess and they would go to the back. And so they got him in handcuffs and they take him to like a room or whatever. She was like, well, can I see him? And the lawyer was like, it's not a good idea because we don't want to make it seem like, you know, whatever you're going to say is something that was coerced, you know, by him or that he told you to say something. So it's just really not a good look. And so she's like, okay, Morgan, they're like, okay, well, what if I go? And please, I have to see him. I just want to make sure he's okay. And so they was like, well, that's probably not a good idea for you to speak to him either. The inciting indictment surrounds you. This is a unique circumstance. If it looks contribute in any way, it could cost him his life. I'll speak to Ethic. That's not. And so then Ezekiel, Big E, come in like, no, he's my son, Ashu. And so Alani feels like, oh my God, like I really want to talk to my husband because I really want to discuss to him, you know, what we're going to do, what's going to be the next steps or whatever the case may be, but it just really isn't a good look. And she wants to make sure that he's okay and that he's going to be safe. But it's like, how do I do this? How do I do both of these things and still be Kenzie's mom and be Ethic's wife? Like, it's just a lot, you know, and she's 27 months pregnant. So it's like, what do you do? I can only imagine her emotions are all over the place. So when they go to the room, and Ezekiel walk in and he like, son, he said, everybody's out there, you know, on edge, but we're all here, you know, standing behind you, especially Lanika. Like that's some woman. And so he said, she's my wife. She can't do this. He said, I'll plead guilty before I make her get up in front of the whole world and defend me. His lawyer came in, of course, and his lawyer is like, you need her. Like, you basically need her to save your case. Like, if she vouches for your innocence, it's a strong possibility that the judge will, and jury will too. He said, I don't want to play on her grief. I need to see her. He said, I got 7 minutes left and they belong to her. Go get my wife. When I tell y'all how much I love this man, like I love him because like he said, I'm not going to play on her grief and I go to jail before I let her get up there and defend me like I did something else right. Now I got 7 more minutes. I'm done talking to you, motherfuckers. Go get my wife and bring her here because she who I need to speak to. I owe her these 7 minutes. I've been gone for 3 days. I owe her these 7 minutes. So he was like, I don't think that it's a good idea. Like, do you realize the risk that you're going to be taking? By not using her to speak on your behalf. He said it'll break her. Like if I let her sit up there and relive all of this all over again, it'll break her. He said, and I took my time putting that woman back together. You heard me? He said, I won't break her again and leave her with the pieces. And so his lawyer was like, Mr. Okafor, he was like, I speak, you listen, no? This is the exchange of how we do it here. This is the dynamic of this arrangement. Go get my wife. I said, I know that's right. Go send for his wife. I'm gonna stop after this in a minute, y'all, because I'm getting tired. But he nodded. Bishop is his lawyer. He nodded and he went on ahead and he went out to go get Alani. And before he walked out, Ethic told him to check on Messiah and Henny as well. He was like, Amy Fisher has been retained for Messiah because, of course, Mickey sent her over. And Ethic was like, you know, like who could have did that or whatever. He was like, retained by who? He was like, and then Meek Harris arranged that. And so Ethic was like, you know what? That nigga solid. I'll give him that. You know, like if he ain't nothing else, he's solid. And I'll give Mickey that. He definitely solid. He said, I'll work on Hendrix Outlaw. He's being being rep by someone from the public defender's office. Do all you can for him, spare no expense. He said, tack whatever his bill is onto mine. And so he go get his wife, and they come in, and she come in, and they instantly, he like lift his arms up so she can get in between his pants because his hands is cuffed. You know, and they forehead to forehead, and he telling her like, I'm not gonna let you do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, only a few minutes is the amount of time that you have with him or whatever. So she go in and she's like, I'm terrified, Ezra. I'm terrified. He like, I know, baby. And she like, I need you. We all need you so much. And so he said, it isn't your place to defend me, Alani. I'll never compromise you in that way. It's my job to protect you, not the other way around. We don't speak about Kenzie often, but no, I'm eternally sorry, Alani. I'm a ruined man behind that night. She said, I know you are. She said, how did this even happen to us? And he said, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. He said, it isn't on you to defend me, though. You don't even have to be here. It took a lot of love to erase the way that you choose to look at me. Pull you in the middle, this will end us. You can't be here, baby. And she said, where else would I be? Like, where else would I be? And so she said, I feel like I'm losing you. And he said, I need you to be stronger, baby. I need Lanika. He was like, if I don't make it home, and she like, Ezra, no. You know, I'm like, no, please. He like, listen to me. Listen, we got to talk about this. She said, I don't want to. He said, we have to. And she said, but you're not a killer. He said, but I am. But I am. And she said, I don't want to give birth without you. He said, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to give you your entire birth plan. He said, in a nasty pool in the middle of your $50,000 birthing room. She said, you gonna get in there with me? He like, yes. So like, I'm gonna get in there with you. I'm gonna get in there with you. And he like, you better be. She said, you better be. He said, I wouldn't miss. He said, take care of my babies. And so the judge is waiting. So they wind up all going back out there. And then the security guards tried to take her because they was taking too long. And he done told the security guard, like, if you touch her, you die. Like, they just went all the way left because you know how Ezra is. And so the officer like, Mr. Okafor, please step away. And that's when he told the officer, if you touch her, you die. And so the attorney is like, let's not keep the judge waiting. Mr. Okafor can walk with us back to the courtroom. I can't see that doing any harm. We know she has no contraband since she was searched upon entry to the courthouse. So I'm gonna stop right here because I don't even want to get into the next part because it's a lot and I don't want to. So I'm gonna be back on here tomorrow, probably about the same time or maybe a little earlier because I'm off work until Monday. But thank you guys for jumping on here with me tonight. I really truly missed you guys. Let me know for my ones who watched, you guys like the live better or should I do videos and post them? I kind of like the live feedback, but you guys let me know what you think. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.